Battle over the removal of books from a public library in the Hill Country continues. We've been following this story since 2022, when residents sued Llano County for removing 17 books that included subjects of racism and gender identity.
Now advocates are trying to get all those books put back on shelves. KVUE's Jessica Cha spoke with the ACLU of Texas about their hopes for a federal hearing that happens in less than 2 weeks.
Well, Brian and Quita, in a new legal brief filed this week, the ACLU is urging the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals to protect the public's right to access diverse books and ideas at public libraries. Advocates say an appeals court hearing later this month will be the first time an appeals court will decide what First Amendment standards govern the removal of books from those spaces. In 2021, Llano County officials ordered the removal of 17 titles from the library over concerns that they were obscene. Some of those books had themes involving LGBTQ+ and racial topics, but Brian Klosterbor, an ACLU attorney, says there's been a wave of book bans and censorship across the state in schools, but the removals in Llano County were one of the first they'd seen in a public library. He says removing titles simply based on their content goes against the First Amendment. And he says it sends a dangerous message that the government can censor and ban as many books as they want with no constitutional scrutiny.
Ultimately, we believe that the court should decide that it's up to members of the public as well as parents who go to take their kids to the library to decide what books they want their kids to read, and not up to the government to censor or remove books arbitrarily.
Klosterbor says the case has the potential to make it to the U.S. Supreme Court, and it could have an impact on book restrictions nationwide. And that hearing is set to take place on September 23rd at the Federal Appeals Court in New Orleans. Live in studio, Jessica Cha, KVUE News.